Cool. So first off, just wanted to shoot out a big thank you to our students, alumni, and fans. I thought they showed up great for the crowd and created a great atmosphere for our players and for the community. I think it's one of the drawbacks of some of the midweek games is the potential loss of crowd. And I think it's one of the special things about coaching and playing and being a part of OU is that our fans and our students really do represent the school well at our games. So really proud of them and happy that that was the environment for our players for a rivalry game. And also really proud of our staff, players, and team for the commitment that they've shown to preparing for this game in the right way. I thought that plays were made on all three sides of the ball that were critical for the victory. And I think it was highlighted by how our defense played. I think their ability to stop the run early in the game, be really tough in the red zone and force field goals, having a goal line stand, and then ending the game with a turnover. I thought they played extremely well throughout that game. And then moving on to Western, really good football team. I think they're playing really good football right now. It's probably the best front in the MAC that we're going to play, defensive front. And I think their quarterback's playing really good football. I've been impressed with him. Throws it accurately and is a dual threat guy, which creates some other issues. And I think they have some dynamic playmakers. So, definitely a very strong opponent this week. Oh, yeah.
Andrew Bobby at WIUB. Obviously, you guys just played a really good pass rush against Miami. You just mentioned you're going to play another good one this week against Western. Just what's your kind of confidence in the offensive line and how they've played against these really good pass rushes?
Excuse me. I have a lot of faith in our offensive line. I love how hard they play. It's a tough physical group of kids. And, when you're talking about a good front and a good pass rush, there's so much more that goes into protecting the quarterback than the offensive line. It's Parker's ability to get the ball out on time and not hang in the pocket as much as he does at times. It's our ability to run the ball effectively and keep us in good down and distances. And it's creating opportunities within our schemes to get guys help, get extra chips, things like that. So it's far more than just the offensive line's responsibility when you're playing a good front.
Grant Key for WIUB. Kind of building off that offensive line. I know you've said you like PFF, but don't put too much stock into it.
Sure.
Highest graded offensive line in the MAC right now, with a first year coach on that offensive line too.
Yeah.
It just wasn't mean to be able to do that under, someone new and be able to build off the momentum this offensive line's had in these past few seasons.
Yeah. When it's positive, you put stock into it. I mean, then you can talk about it. No, it's something that you look at and, I think Coach Thompson has embraced the way that we coach offensive football here, and that's a reason why he's here. Obviously, someone I've known for a long time, but I thought he did a really good job at Central, and I liked the way their offensive line played. I thought they were tough, physical guys. They played with an edge and a chip, and I liked that demeanor. So I think he fit in well with what we were doing. And I think developed great relationships with the players really fast, which is really important. So there's a lot of trust that's been built early on with them.
Charlie Fidel with the Post. Coach, you obviously just mentioned Brock Lowry, their quarterback, big dual threat guy. Mm-hmm. But just last week, obviously, against Miami, you guys contained Daquan Finn really well. How does that kind of help the defense when preparing again for another dual threat guy?
I would say different types of dual threats, where this one, more quarterback run stuff than they probably do with Daquan. His issues were more scrambling, our ability to keep him in the pocket, which it shows up this week also, but they probably do more true quarterback run game with him. I think he's got over 100 carries on the season. So that's different type of issues that we just have to prepare for.
Ethan Sargent, Total Media Sports. Obviously, emotional rivalry win on Tuesday night. It's always easy to get on that high and then get caught the next week. How's the messaging been this week to your guys that, we got that big win, but now we have to move on to the next one?
Yeah, when you focus on yourselves, your team, I think that's always an important factor. You're trying to eliminate external factors and looking ahead at anything else. Other coaches have called that rat poison. So you try to eliminate anything that's external and focus on yourselves, your execution, how much you care about your teammates, and that is what we do.
Hey, Coach Marty Bannister, you talked a moment ago about happy with all things you did on Tuesday, 3 side. Was that as close to the complimentary football as you played this season in a game?
Different type of complimentary football. Yeah, there's some stuff I would have loved to have done better on offense for that. Turning it over twice isn't great. I would have loved to have ran the ball better throughout the entire game. I think we ran it effectively when it mattered and when we really needed to at the end. There were some times earlier in the game that I thought we probably could have ran the ball a little bit better. But definitely was proud of the special teams creating some plays there. Obviously, the kick return was huge. So I think collectively, all 3 sides, I think there was a lot of complimentary football that was being played.
CA, his night. Obviously, the kick return stands out for a lot of things, but I think also you talked about the protection of the run or the pass game right now. I mean, he's doing a good job in that area too, and he was a valued receiver on Tuesday night also.
Yeah. We kind of talked about that with the quarterbacks, that just how they play was going to create some opportunities for checkdowns. So I think Parker did a good job finding CA. There was actually one that ended up being a drop that I thought could have been a much bigger play, or could have been a big play. I think he's being used very well, and I'm proud of how hard he plays and how he's embraced his role within the team, and is in more of a leadership role now too. Him returning has been just a tremendous fit.
Coach, Owen Lipsher with the Post. Obviously, we've been talking all 3 sides of the ball. With injuries throughout the season, CA and Chase have stepped into these special teams roles.
Mm-hmm.
What goes into making those decisions to have them do that, and how do you make sure it doesn't take away from your offense?
Yeah, I mean, you're always trying to get your best players on the field and getting guys in position that are going to help you win games. And then you just have to try to manage it. So there's opportunities where, Duncan or Tank may end up returning kicks because of rep counts and where guys are at, things like that. But we're always going to try to put our best players in positions to help us win.
Sorry, one more for you, Coach. Western already has 2 fourth-quarter comebacks this year in MAC play. Is there any additional emphasis this week just to make sure your players are finishing the game strong, playing all 60 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, if you've been to these press conferences before, you would know that I talk a lot about how we finish games and playing 4 full quarters. So that is something that we talk about every single week and that we emphasize. And so that will continue.
First game of the season where you guys made every kick that you attempted. Just what's your confidence level in Dave going forward potentially as the starting kicker for this team?
I was extremely happy for him. I thought that was huge for him to make the field goal, and obviously making extra points is big too. But that was great for his confidence as a kicker with kind of the back and forth with those guys. Still need to continue to improve on our kickoffs, but as far as our PAT and field goals, couldn't have been happier for him.
Kind of some parallels from last year to this year in terms of the schedule where, hey, lost the game early on in MAC play. We just got to win out, control our own destiny, that kind of thing. And a lot of teams that you're playing down the stretch that, are also vying for that spot, like Toledo last year.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously 3 games like that this year. I mean, those parallels kind of like mean anything to you, or does it help that you've already, kind of seen this a little bit with the way last year finished?
Yeah, I think it's good for the guys that have been here. You have so much turnover every year that there's always a lot of new players that are that are playing in your program that weren't experiencing that last year. So it's hard to just lean on, hey guys, we've been through this before, because maybe half the team wasn't even here. But for the ones that are in your unity council, the ones that are your captains, you kind of lean on those guys and their leadership to help with that. And I think that's what makes this conference great, is that there is some parity, and different teams can win every single week, and it's going to come down to some exciting games down the stretch.
Coach, you've had so much turnover at the linebacker spot throughout the course of the season due to just a variety of injuries. What can you say about, in particular, Charlie Christopher, who steps up as a true freshman and led the team in tackles on Tuesday night, and then just some of the other bodies that have kind of made strides that you probably wouldn't have foreseen before the season just due to them playing a lot more minutes that you probably wouldn't have anticipated due to all the injuries?
Really proud of how he's progressed as a player. It's not easy to jump in as a true freshman at any position, and especially as a middle linebacker. But the kid has the right outlook. He fits the type of players that we want to recruit. Like I said this before, he's a smart, tough kid that loves football, and those are guys that are going to get better. So they're going to take coaching. The more reps they play, the better they're going to get, and that's what you're seeing with him. And it's great for that room as guys continue to get back that have been injured, or the guys that now are back that were injured earlier. Your depth is so much better. You have so much more confidence in a rotation within your guys. So yeah, really happy with that room and the job Coach Woods is doing with them.
And then on the offensive side with the receiver position, obviously with Chase putting up the numbers that he's been putting up, teams are starting to shade guys over to him. So that's opening up the game for guys like Rodney Harris, who had the big touchdown catch on Tuesday night. What are you seeing from the rest of that room alongside Chase and Rodney that is really exciting you right now?
I mean, obviously I've been happy with Rod. I think that he brings a lot to that room in toughness and how strong his hands are. I think that we can really have a lot of trust with him catching the ball downfield, that he's going to go up and attack it and get it. We've been happy with Dom's progression as a receiver. Obviously he's another young kid that had an opportunity to step up due to some injuries. Been really excited with him. We're hopeful to get Ian Pugh back here fairly soon, which will add some more depth within that group. And obviously CG is able to make plays when he gets his opportunities, and I think does a really nice job when he is getting his chances, whether in a rotational role or playing in 10 personnel.